I'm so sorry if you can hear my bunnies eating in the background. Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be redesigning some old OCs. And spoiler alert, I was like a big wolf girl growing up, so they're all wolves. Also, I kind of worked on these at the same time in the same document, so it's gonna flip-flop a little bit. But first off, my first ever fursona, Sila. I think the first design that I found of hers was made when I was 9 years old. I drew it with a mouse on this site called Pixlr. Pixlr. And she was a fire-breathing wolf that was definitely inspired by the webcomic The Black Blood Alliance. Like, that comic just single-handedly just shaped me forever, I think. Sila went through a lot of iterations as I grew up and tried to sort of have her match who I was at the time, but she just eventually became her own character, and she always kind of was anyway. I'm still very attached to her, and she means a lot to me to this day. Like, I don't think I will ever really stop drawing her. She's just always gonna pop up every now and then. As for her design, I really didn't redesign her much. I just sort of brought her back to her original state and just made her ears a darker color. Later designs also featured this darker streak across her back, so I decided to include that as well because I liked it. Next up, Nellis and Mallaya. They all have strange names because I came up with them all by myself. It was sort of a like thing for me where I just didn't want them to have names that already existed, and that's a theme that I kind of kept with my bunnies now, actually. And like, my OCs these days do have more normal names a lot of the time, but I still do like to come up with my own names like every now and then. So Mallaya I made up first. I made her up when I was like 9 or 10 as well, and she's also very much from the Black Blood Alliance Obsession era, which you can kind of see in her old design. She, like, her thing was that she had all of these strange markings all over her. And eventually, when I updated her design a little bit later, I like took that and made her into like a sparkle dog instead, like during the sparkle dog craze, and like gave her bangs and stuff. And I kind of wanted to incorporate all of that into her new design. And I'm very happy with what I came up with to like try and not really simplify, but more like make her still feel very her in a sense, where she's still very detailed and has all of these like strange markings all over her, but now they have more cohesion to them and more of a rhythm to them. She's still very blue, but I took her into a more gray direction and gave her some more hair. Like, I kind of thought of her as like a Legend of Zelda character almost. Like, that's what I inspired her, or like what I was inspired by for her new design. Because I feel like she kind of low-key fits in with that style language with her markings a little bit. Mallaya is a very mild and sweet character. She's very kind, but she doesn't really speak her mind a lot, and she's not very noticeable, sort of. Her backstory was that she was sort of dating this like bad guy character that I had. He was like very abusive towards her, sadly. Stuff you come up with when you're 10. And then she meets Nellis and they get together instead. So she's always been like, she and Nellis have always been intended to be dating. And Nellis I came up with a little bit later when I had discovered another wolf webcomic called Off-White. and I thought that this comic was like so cool as well. And Nellis had a brother as well, and they were very Off-White inspired. They didn't have much of a backstory. They had like a backstory where their dad was like killed by a hunter, but that was like it, you know. Like every character when you're like 14 it has to have like a tragic backstory, okay? Especially if your OCs are wolves with maybe powers. I don't think Nellis or Mallaya had powers though, but like they were sort of that like pre-Sparkle Dog era type wolf OC. Nellis is a little bit of an opposite to Mallaya. She's also a little bit like introverted, but she is more she's a bit more broody, honestly, but she and Mallaya, they just get each other, okay? Like she kind of, I think she kind of like helped get her out of her abusive situation, if I remember it right. Again, stuff you come up with when you're like 11. I also didn't change her much. I gave her like build a little bit more of a thought. So she's very pointy in this design, and that was also to contrast with Mallaya being a bit like, I want to imagine her being kind of rounded, and Nellis is a little bit more just pointy and sleek. I also just kind of simplified her like strange face marking, but I did decide to keep it. Like I had like a little bit of an internal debate of like, should I keep this very artificial, odd-looking marking in her face, but I felt like she just doesn't look like the same character without it. Like that's her defining feature, and I actually do still kind of like it, actually. And like honestly, I do still kind of like these two, like a lot. And lastly, Aro and Ku. And if you do read my webcomic, you will recognize the name Aro. I actually took it from this guy because I made it up for him, and he turned into my favorite character for a while. And I was still very attached to the name when I was making up my webcomic, so I just kind of stole it from myself. And then I stole it again and named my rabbit the same thing. I really like that name still, and I still really like this character, and he and my Minotaur Aro do have kind of a bit in common, so that's also kind of why I stole it. They have sort of similar vibes, but unlike Mallaya and Nellis, who were kind of from separate stories and from like separate eras a little bit, and then brought together, these two were designed together from the start. They were designed even later. I think I was about 13 or 14 when I made them up. And this was in my big, like, Super Who look era, okay? They were very Doctor Who inspired, and Ku was like, his backstory was that he was like a time traveler, and Aro was like essentially his companion, right? Like they had that sort of like Doctor Who type relationship, and they were very heavily inspired by the 10th Doctor and Rose, which is my favorite like era of Doctor Who and still is. And like a lot like that dynamic, these two were also not together, but they had like something unspoken, right? That was like always the idea with them, and I was just very obsessed with that. But like even though their dynamic was very inspired by like the 10th Doctor and Rose, Ku was a lot more like the 9th Doctor. Like he also had that like whole backstory where his like world was destroyed and he's like kind of broody because of it. And Aro was a bit more like just sort of like dealing with normal stuff like having friendship problems and stuff like that. And so they sort of meet each other when both of them are like at their lowest, where Keiru has just kind of like lost his entire family and his entire home world, full of like other like maned winged fox looking sparkle dogs. And he kind of like, I think he travels forward in time, or he travels back. I don't quite remember. Okay, it was like a long time ago at this point. And Aura's friends have all left him because of like his own insecurities. And they just sort of like Aura sort of saves Keiru from his time capsule, so I think he did travel forward in time. But like Keiru has some sort of artifact or whatever, so they are like being hunted by other like sparkle dogs from Keiru's homeworld, basically, who like also travel in time. So like because Auro is now involved with like Keiru because he woke him and like saved him from the time capsule, they are sort of assuming that they are like an alliance now, so they're hunting both of them. So like now Keiru has to like protect him, and they form a bond, and they're definitely in love, but they haven't said anything about it yet. Okay. And like I still like these guys as well. Auro had a soft spot like in my heart, a lot more than Keiru, but I just really like their dynamic, and I used to draw them so much. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to support this channel, please check out my Patreon. And don't forget to read my webcomic, Minotaurs Can't Be Witches. Alright, see you in the next one. Bye!